three specific environments I'd like to bring up. The military, specifically boot camp. When you're a stranger in a foreign country, and when you're the odd man out, so to say. Now, these three situations where you're in the military, you're a stranger in a foreign land, or you're flat out the odd man out. What do these three have in common, these three environments? Well, firstly, you're going to be facing, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you to do whatever it is that you need to do. You're going to stand out more often than not. They're going to be put under a lot of scrutiny. But most importantly, and the key, is that you're going to be in a hostile environment. You're going to be in a place where you're going to encounter a fair number of people that just flat out aren't going to be very nice to you. And what weapon do all of us have? We'll get back to that in a minute. Now, say in boot camp, you're going to have a drill sergeant that's going to say things that are quite, well, they're not going to be very nice, and you're not going to like hearing what they have to say. Of course, this is not me pretending to know what boot camp is, as I have no military background. But the point is, well, you're going to meet people that you're not going to like, and they're going to say things that you're not going to, it's not going to be to your taste. Whereas another way you can put this into perspective is, well, there are 8 billion people in the world. 8 billion people, roughly. And most every one of those 8 billion people have a mouth. And most every one of them has something to say. And if someone has something to say, a fair percentage of those people, they're going to say it. And again, sometimes they're going to say things that you're not going to like. But the key behind that is, sure, someone has something to say to you, something that maybe riles you up. But are you going to let those emotions affect your decision-making ability? Are you going to let those decisions alter the way you think? Are you going to let those words that are coming out of their mouth negatively affect you and fog your ability to make clear, logical decisions based on facts, not on emotions, so that you can make the best decision that is to your favor as possible? Are you going to let those words get in the way of you getting to where you want to go, the goal that you set out for yourself, whatever that goal may be? Are you going to let this affect the way that you go about your day, go about your life? That is the key thing that we all need to answer. Are a few words going to affect the way that we go about our day, go about our lives? Because just as in boot camp, if you react to the words that a drill sergeant throws at you, or if you're in a foreign country and you hear words that are not so nice to you and you overreact, either case, if you overreact, you're only going to end up shooting yourself in the foot. You're only going to end up hurting yourself. You're only going to end up sabotaging your own goals, and many times you're going to make yourself coming off as a fool when you react to what it is that people have to say. Because ultimately, whether it's in a boot camp or if you're in a place where you are different from everyone else, and that difference is not welcome, if you react, you're playing to their game. You're playing their game. You're not playing yours. You are entering their style of life rather than you dictating your own terms of how about you want to go about your day. And just think of it like a sports arena, sports stadium, where you are standing inside the playing field, wherever they're playing this game. You're the one playing. Now, the person or thing that you have to worry about is the opposition that is trying to stop you from getting to where you want to go. It's trying to stop you from winning the game. They are the one or the ones that have the ability to stop you from getting to where you want to go, that can prevent you from winning. Now, those 8 billion people, well, they are the bystanders sitting all around the stadium. And these people, these huge throngs, these hostile throngs, they have no power. They cannot alter what goes on in the field. And you are the one in the field in your own life. You are the man in the arena. You are the one that dictates what happens, whether you win or lose, whether you get to where you want to go or you don't. Those other people, those bystanders, they cannot enter the field. They're not allowed. All they can do is use their one weapon, their only weapon. That's their tongue. And if you let what they say, those people that are throwing profanities at you, you let them affect your ability to think, to perceive, to strategize, to get to where you want to go, to counter what the opponent is going to do. If you let that happen, you're lost. You've already lost before you even played, because you let them get into your head. So then, what should the proper response be, rather than reacting to 8 billion people where everyone has something to say? Instead of shouting at this person, this person, what should be the proper response instead of expending all your energy to people that they can't alter what is happening in your life? What should the proper response be? 2 words. Thick skin. Thick skin. That is, you ignore what they have to say. Realize that you can't argue with 8 billion people. That's too many. You're going to expend all your energy. And every one of us, the energy we have is finite. We can only do a certain number of things in a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade. And we only have a certain allocated, precious, non-replenishable amount of time. And if you waste it rather than trying to defeat your opponent, but argue with the bystanders, you're giving your opponent the upper hand, the ability to get an angle on you, get the upper hand, and letting them or it get what it wants rather than you getting what you want. So see those people that move their mouths in an attempt to get in your way for what it really is, a distraction. So with all distractions, do what you gotta do and ignore them.